Hi Flosstube, it's Stephanie with Kate's Crafts, and it feels like forever since I've made a video. I think with doing all of the Flossmas videos and trying to record every day, and then going back to a whole month, it's been a long time. So, welcome. I'm going to call this Flosstube 6. I had 4 official Flosstubes before Flossmas, and then I had my whip parade. So I'm going to count this as Flosstube 6. We're going to go with that. So glad that you're here. Welcome if you're new and just finding me for the first time. If you're back, thank you so much for coming back. I'd love to have people come back. This is my channel about cross stitch and crafting. For today, it's mostly about cross stitch, just with some of the future plans. But so welcome. All right, glad you're here. I don't know about you guys, but my January just flew by. I will say that I felt like this past week was really long, but the rest of it just went super fast. So drinking coffee today, since I'm recording earlier. As you can tell, I actually have daylight, even though it's kind of weird. It's my color changing Starbucks mug, and it's too hot to even put the lid on, but I needed a little sip. All right. So I I actually did more stitching in January than I thought I would be able to, and I'm pretty proud of myself. And in the following of Jan Hicks, hashtag GSD21, get stuff done 2021. When I set goals, I find that I'm kind of a completionist, and I'm like trying to push and get to that next goal, and that's not a bad thing. It means that I was very focused on the challenge groups that I'm following and didn't stray too much and kind of work on whatever I felt like, which is different for me. But I think that's a good thing. So we'll see how this goes, right? January, new challenges. It's kind of like a new diet, new workout plan. We'll see how long I can make this a habit, but it went pretty well. The first 2 weeks of the year, I was traveling for work, and I only took one whip with me. So that really shoehorned me in on some of my challenges to one particular piece. And then when I came back the last 2 weeks, I've been able to kind of work whatever at home, but I still try to really focus on my challenges. So that being said, we'll get into progress and then a little bit of haul and some plans for February and going forward. So I have no FFOs. FFO is a fully finished object. So that's when you finish a cross stitch piece and then you finish it, you frame it, you make it into a pillow, wall hanging, whatever it is that you're going to do with it. I don't have any of those this month, and that's okay. But I do have a couple of finishes piling up, so I need to have an FFO day. I do have a finish, and this is from Satsuma Street. It is, and I apologize for the glare, this is their 12 Days of Christmas. Actually, let me show you the site because I'm stitching them as 12 individual ornaments. And for Merry 25, on the 25th of every month, I am stitching Christmas stuff. And this month I picked working on 4 calling birds. That's this one right here. I did start this in December, and I basically just had a portion of this bird cage and some of the gold kind of going up here. I had nothing else. It looked like a little yellow submarine. So this is fully done and super cute. You can see how tiny it is. I am stitching these on Monaco, 28 count Monaco, and I was going to stitch 2 over 1, which is why the fabric was this big, but I ended up stitching 1 over 1, and I wanted them to be a little bit more ornament sized, and I love this. I really do actually like stitching on Monaco, and 1 over 1 is not bad for me on Monaco at all. So 4 calling birds, we have a finish. So not too bad for my first Merry 25. I apologize, I got a lot of stuff piled up here, so you might hear some rustling around as I try and shift things. All right, whips. So for my whips, I do have one piece that I take in the car, and in case I need to go somewhere, especially now, everywhere you go, You have to wait outside. Typically, you can't go in anywhere. So I am, oh boy, I got a long thread on here. I'm working on Valentina by InkCircles. I'll show you that. So I did start this in December, and I had finished just about half of it, and I got a little bit more done, basically up through here, this kind of motif there. Ignore the hanging thread here. This is being stitched on 22 count Hardanger from Brandy at BeStitchMe that's dyed this light purple. And then I'm using one of her hand-dyed silks in purple. It's got a slight variegation, you can probably tell, but it's kind of just purple on purple. And I really love the way this is coming out. So this is on my whip go for a finish. So I wanted to just, like I said, this is really easy to take in the car because it's small and it's one color, one strand. Very, very easy to take with me. So I just keep it in my little project bag, and that is that. Sorry, hold on, I don't want to get the threads caught in there. So I worked on that, and then I am a member of Erin Two Martini Stitchers YouTube channel, her subscriber group, and as a end of the year gift, she purchased for us a Quirky Quaker from Darling and Whimsy Designs, and we got to pick it. I picked the fox. And we had, I'm also in the level where you get to have like twice a month a Zoom meetup, stitching meetups with her. And so we all met up on January 16th and we started stitching this, and most people finished it. I did not. And I can tell you why. This is actually also kind of haul-ish because I did get this at the beginning of the year. This is a linen from BeStitchMe, which I hadn't purchased her linen before. This is a 36 count of the colorway Oat. And it looks like the light is kind of pulling it out a bit, but it's very, very subtle. So here is my progress. So I basically have everything except the fox, and I just started his little fox ear there. You can see, so I have the border and I have the 4 motifs, and I just need to stitch the fox. So, but this is only my second time stitching on linen, and my first time stitching on 36 count. The first time was on a 30 count, so I'm not quite used to going over 2. So it kind of makes sense that it was a little bit slow for me, but I really like this. I love these designs. I know, obviously, Erin has stitched these. Michelle Bendy Stitchy has stitched these. Annie Joyfield Stitcher has stitched these. Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough has stitched these. A bunch of people have, but they've been posting them recently. If you want to check out their videos, they've done some of the other ones. There's a puffin that I want to do, and the hedgehog. But these are really, really cute. So thanks again to Erin for that. And that was just super fun for the group. Oh, and the floss, I came across a bag of floss at my parents' house from, it's old. I can tell you that some of the skeins of floss in there have Frank's Nursery and Craft stickers, for putting myself back there, and it was 15 cents a skein at the time. So this little baby, orange, kind of burnt orange, was in there, no label. It was just actually like hanked up like that, kind of, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, twaddled, whatever it's called. So I have no idea what it is, but I thought it would look great for the fox, so that's what I'm using. So I can't even tell you what it is, but it is a 6-stranded like embroidery floss. So there's that. All right, now my 2 big focus pieces for Whip Go. So I'm doing Whip Go this year, which is made by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And she has a video explaining it all and what it is. And I think I actually linked that in my Whip Parade video as well. So she calls 2 numbers for every month. For January, she pulled the free space, so there were 3, but I had it as a free space anyway. So this is my Whipco board. And I just printed out a copy today, so I already have February's marked as called on there. I added a couple designations. So I have not called, not started, not called, in process, and not called, goal met. And then called, not started, called, in process, and called, goal met. So just added a little clarification for myself on there. So the 3 for January, obviously the free space, I didn't have a goal, so that's green. And then the other 2, I did meet my goals. For Hogsmeade, visit Hogsmeade, my goal was 1,000 stitches, and I had it on there again to stitch another 1,000 stitches, and I actually stitched 2,000 stitches in January. So I have marked square 9 as not called, goal met. So that's actually done for the year on my list because I had that on there twice. And then I guess we'll come back to this for plans. But so to show you my progress on this, show you what it looks like. And these are by CountryMagicStitch. And when I purchased this originally, it was not compatible with Pattern Keeper, and she is in the process of converting them all over to Pattern Keeper. I was actually looking at buying a couple more, and so I messaged her and asked if she was planning on converting them because I would wait. And she said that she's actually in the next month or 2 going to have them all converted. And she was kind enough to resend me the one that I purchased. So I now have it on Pattern Keeper, which is amazing. So that's what the finished piece will look like. When you guys saw it last time, I had just started it. I really just had this corner here, and I was stitching on the diagonal. And that was my first time trying to stitch on the diagonal. I am in the group for the love of diagonal stitching, and I like it, but I started seeing my own diagonal lines. And so while you're trying to get rid of page lines and vertical and horizontal lines, I can see the diagonal lines. So I decided to kind of just focus on a color. So this is how far I got. I'm so excited. So I have stitched, what have I stitched? Basically, I don't even know. 2,146 or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that coming out great? I'll tell you, the sky is in 927, and if I never stitch 927 again. This is the one I took on my business trip because, like I said, I was moving across. And I really only needed the 927. I think this is 822, 27, 8 something in there, and then white. There's little white snowflakes kind of speckled in there. And then I started to kind of move down here into some of the rest of the mountains, but I am extremely happy with this progress. You can see I've gotten all the way across. This is being stitched on just white 18 count Aida from Joann's. I have Easy Grid for my other ones from her, but I have 4 and I have 3 cuts of Easy Grid, and I needed 1 to be on just regular, and this is the one I picked. So and actually, I'm even really proud of my back. Look at that. It's pretty good. I had one little knot up here, which I didn't catch, but other than that, you can kind of see here where I started diagonal, and then I kind of gave up, and then I just went vertical across. But I'm here for it. It's good. And I love Harry Potter, so huge progress on this one. Today's the 31st. I'm filming this on the morning of the 31st, and I think I actually have 185 stitches left to meet another leg on one of my challenges. So I'm going to finish this today, like stitching a little bit more on this. So the challenges that I used that one for were Nerdapalooza in Semi-Sane Stitchers. I used that as my January focus piece in Semi-Sane Stitchers, and that it's not my choice for the rest of the year, and you get points the more you reuse them. But my other piece is going to be my focus for the rest of the year. This one was because I was taking it on the business trip, and you have to post a picture at the beginning of the month with where you're going with it, and that was the option I had for me. So for January, that was my focus piece. So I got my 2,000 stitches on it. I also used this one and my other piece for various legs of Journey Through the Parks on Enchanted Stitches. And that one, I'm currently working through the Magic Kingdom right now. And then I'm also stitching my way around Iceland, which is a full coverage Fanatics challenge. And how many, let's see, sorry, I have the file open here. I think the total is 38,360 stitches that you'd have to complete in the year, but you can do it on multiple pieces. So I'm trying to finish a leg of that challenge on this one because I'm only a couple hundred away on that leg. So I'll get credit for that. So, and my needle minder on here is from the Black Needle Society. You can see that real well. I guess the light here is not helping. It's a little chocolate frog from Harry Potter. And I got that with my Frogwarts Year 1. So, all right, moving on. My next piece was Floral Bird of Paradise, and that is my Heaven and Earth Designs piece. This one is going to be large. I'm stitching it on 18 count. The finished size of this will be about 25 inches square. And I started in the upper right corner, and this was from WIPGO as well. So my goal here was 2,000 stitches on this. And I did complete 2,000 stitches, actually just slightly more. I did work in a couple of the parked threads that were here just to have them worked in, but I mainly focused on filling in, and again, I apologize because it's the most ungratifying stitch in the world. I'm filling in all of this 3865. So it's pretty much 2,000 stitches of 3865. Let me see if I put this behind it. I don't know if that'll even help the light. But I'll put a photo in of where I was. Basically, I didn't have any of this filled in. So from here to here, because this was the edge of my page, so all of this was all filled in. And like I said, I'm not exactly gratifying to stitch that much color or lack of color, but there's like 79,000 stitches in that 3865, and I'm going to have to tackle them at some point, so might as well be at the beginning. I did work a little bit on the black border as well, and I think I'm going to try and do a little bit more alternating, like 3865 and then border and that kind of stuff. And then also follow down a little bit into the green. That green leaf is like huge confetti right there. It is one stitch of like every other color. One of the things that I do for my haze is, especially with Pattern Keeper, I've gone in and I've taken each of the colors that are on that page and I've put them in this little, I got this like for $2 from Target. I was putting these removable stickers with the symbol on it for this particular project, but I had never ended up going all the way through. So these are just the DMC stickers. You can buy like a pack at Joann's. But I know that everything, because I'll never travel with my Haid, it's too big. And everything from the page I'm working on is in here. And then I can just go back up to my stitchy room and swap out if I need to, but this is easier to carry around the house. So that is that. So again, I used that for Through the Parks, stitching around Iceland, and then that piece, the Floral Bird of Paradise, is my 21,000 stitches in 2021. And let me, oops, I'm going to show you here. This is what it'll look like when it's all done. So you can see that I am up in this upper corner here, just where that leaf is starting to come down, and I'm right where it's making that turn. And then, so I'm stitching in this area here. So just trying to transition into this leaf, it is just super confetti. So I'm hoping with the 21,000 stitches, I can at least get to some of the oranges and the purples, maybe not down here, of course, but maybe into here if I work my way down. We'll see. But yeah, so that's my big focus piece for the year. All right. So I think that's it for whips, like I said. I mean, but I think I stitched just over 6,000 stitches this month total, and making huge progress on those um, pieces has been. It feels really good. You know, I don't have a ton of whips, but to show you, but that's okay. That's really okay. All right. Haul. So first haul I got, as I said, I was able to get Frogwort Tier 1. I didn't know about Black Needle Society until after Frogworts, so being able to pick up this pattern, Katie and Laura offering those who didn't know about it to get year 1 is fantastic. I also got this frog needle miner. It says Frogger from Camp Black Needle Society. This was one of their previous boxes as well. I did also purchase the Frogger's year 2, so that's exciting. That won't come until July, but I did buy it. So, and I got all the DMC. I think I'm missing one color. I have not decided if I'm stitching this on one. So they're going to do all 7 books. Do I want to stitch each one on the same fabric and get one big piece of fabric, or do I want to stitch them all individually? And I just can't make up my mind. I want to stitch this one, or at least start it. Hopefully start and finish it before year 2. But I really got to make up my mind. I know if I recall correctly, everything on here would be planned to be over 2, and then the quote at the bottom, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live, is stitched over 1. I remember reading it correctly. So that kind of limits. I want to be able to stitch it on even weave then. And the question is, do I want to do linen, even weave, what count, yada, 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 right? So it's a future me problem, but not too distant future. I also did, as I said, I purchased from Brandy at her New Year Friday night fight night. So I showed you the oat, the linen, and I'm really 18 count Aida, 20 count Aida. That's my safe space. Almost all my projects are on that. Some of my other larger pieces now I'm doing on 25 count tent stitch, but I'm really trying to branch out and grow and learn. So I've taken to using the Friday night fight night to buy different things that I normally wouldn't buy. Not necessarily crazy colors, but like different materials so I can try them out. I had purchased a 28 count Jobelin and I really didn't like it stitching on it. So I bought this 28 count Lugana, and this is like a really nice, almost like an army green. It's kind of hard to tell. It's like a sagey army green. I love this. I have no idea what I'm stitching on it, but I love it. It's beautiful. So that is, 28 count Lugana. And then I also got Sleet, which was the December fabric of the month. This is a 32 count linen. That's a nice light blue. And then I purchased this. Well, okay, so I did go back to my jam. I got a 20 count Aida of that oat color. Yeah, it's really just, sorry, I didn't realize the light was going to be this off, but it's just a really nice neutral. So yeah, and then I won one of her giveaways, and this is called Baron, and this is a small cut, a 14 count Aida. So it's kind of tiny, but it's gorgeous. I mean, I love this. And I'm looking at doing the Haunted Mansion Grooming Ghost stitch along. I'm in that group, and this color would look fantastic for that. So that is actually being released tomorrow. The frame is out, but what, patch one, I guess, room one is going to be released tomorrow, and I can't wait to see what that looks like because I do plan on starting that, but I want the mystery sales, I want them to come out a little bit before I kind of commit to it. So this would be super fun for little Halloween ornaments, or one of the InkCircles, the little Halloween spirit mandalas would be cute on there as well. So thank you, Brandy. I also had won a giveaway from, sorry, Crinkle, 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 from Annie, Joyful Stitcher. She's such a sweetheart. I had won a giveaway from her, and God bless our postal system. I hope other people's mail is getting back to normal. Ours is still iffy. Ours has been iffy since August, honestly. I'm in the Detroit area, and one of our big distribution centers had like half their equipment or whatever taken out with all that stuff back over the summer. And I think package-wise, they're still catching up. I still have like 2 Christmas gifts that have not yet arrived. I think they're actually going to arrive this week, is what it is. The workers are working pretty hard, so you can't fault them whatsoever. But I won Priscilla Plaid, the Halloween one, a little cut of that, and she sent that to me. So thank you, Annie. I will definitely use this for Halloween finishing. And then I also won, which I'll be honest, I never win anything. So it's just kind of funny that I've won 3 things in the last 3 months. Pam, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, sent me this card, and with her Flossmas giveaways, I won one of her Prairie Schooler cards. And it's got the little reindeer on it. It's so cute. So I haven't stitched that yet, but as Erin likes to say, that'll stitch up real quick. So I will probably stitch that at some point this year and make a little ornament out of it. And then the Grinning Ghost Cell, there is a color in there. It's a DMC variegated 4245, and a lot of people haven't been able to find it. I can tell you that my Michaels, I've only been in a couple times. They don't even have a slot for it. They stop at 4240. So a lady, Stacy Muth, had posted that she found a couple extra skeins, and so she looked at the stitch count, she divided it up, and gave away a bunch. And it's a purple, deep purple blue variegation from DMC, and I won that, so that is also exciting. So yay for Stitchy happy meal, right? Last thing, I did get a bunch of these OmniGrip rulers for Christmas. So this is my small one. It's 3.5 by 3.5. But I did get a set of a couple bigger ones for when I make project bags, which is exciting, from my husband and from my dad for Christmas. So excited to add this to my little stitchy bin that goes by my stitchy spot for starting. I think this will be a nice corner start as well. And these are just at Joann's. So, all right. Oh, and then my last haul, sorry, I got 2 designs from InkCircles, and I got them in PDF, so I have them here on my tablet. So the first one I got is Henna Mandala. I love this. This is gorgeous. And I ordered a sulky blendable to go to stitch this that actually is somewhat similar to the color called out here. I just ordered it yesterday, so we'll see how that is, but that's going to be a March start. And then I also got the one that I had been planned on, I mentioned to you guys last year, is the Hawaiian Mandala sampler. I love this. And I'm not a sampler person, but I love Hawaiian quilt patterns, and that is the Hawaiian alphabet. So Hawaiian alphabet doesn't have as many letters as the English alphabet. So yeah, so that is their alphabet. So those are my purchases. And then I guess plans. So I talked about WhipGo. So Whipco Floral Bird of Paradise got pulled again. So I will put in another 2,000 stitches on that, which will be keeping me well on my goal for 21,000 in 2021. I think you have to stitch 1,750 a month to stay on track. And like I said, I'm at 2,400 on that one, or 2,500. And then with another 2,000, I'll be cruising right along. So that'll be good. I am participating, and I'll continue stitching around Iceland for full coverage fanatics. In Enchanted Stitches, I will continue to go journey through the parks as well. On the Magic Kingdom, there's 14 tasks, which total 30,000 stitches. I've completed 8 of them. So out of that, I've completed just about 7,000 stitches. So a couple of the ones there have like some really higher stitch counts, and I was using smaller increments. So now I'm going to kind of slow down, and it'll probably be 1 to 2 months to finish those legs because there's 7,000 stitches in one assignment. So I'm just going to keep moving along, keep trucking. And then semi-scene stitchers, it is Stitchopoly, which I've never participated in, but it looks super fun. I'm going to go the traditional route, and that means that you roll the dice, you move your spot, and you stitch however many stitches are on that. And then once you complete that, you roll again, you keep going around, and you see how many times you can get around the board. So I've never done this. It's going to be fun, I'm sure. I've had a lot of fun with semi-scene stitchers so far. In addition to my Floral Bird of Paradise, the other Whipco is my Harry Potter book covers. So 2 pretty big pieces called for that. Now, the kicker with Harry Potter book covers, so for Whipco, it's 2,000 stitches. And that's my goal. Now, I'm stitching this 2/1 tent, and I am perfectly okay with that. So my goal is 2,000 tent stitches. But any challenge group you're in only counts a tent stitch as half a stitch. And that's fine. But that means for like Journey Around the Parks or Stitchopoly, I have to stitch double if I use Harry Potter versus my Floral Bird of Paradise. So we shall see. This will get at least 2,000. I can tell you that coming down right into here, it's so much confetti. It's going to be really time consuming. There is no big blocks of colors on this design. There's just not, unless you're up here like in one of the letters. It's just not. And that's what makes it gorgeous. But for a challenge group, it makes Whipco a little stinko. So we shall see how that goes. Now going down just a little section down here, like kind of going right down in this area, there's like, I think a piece of his, or maybe this way, there's a piece of his cape. And that is a little bit more, there's like a small couple of blocks of like 4 colors that you could probably get 200 or 300 stitches of at least like only changing your needle 2 or 3 times. So we shall see. But I'm excited to get going on this one and make some progress on this as well. I really was torn on the Bird of Paradise or this one for my 21,000 in 2021. But that piece is so big, and I know exactly where I want it to go on the wall. And with the 3865, I was afraid I wouldn't finish and like talk myself out of it. So that's why I committed to that one. But this one obviously holds a special place in my heart, and I want to make progress on this one as well. So that is that. So that is February plans. March, just to give you a heads up, I decided March is my birthday month, and it's also a couple other people's birthday months. And so I decided I wanted to do a sal. And I was looking around, and I came up with Monochromatic March sal, and it's not on Instagram. So I had talked to Erin, Michelle, Annie, and Pam and said, hey, why don't we all do monochromatic stitching in March as Monochromatic March sal. So if you'd like to join us, anyone watching this, you're more than welcome to just grab a piece, monochromatic piece. I am going to start a piece called Save the Stitches. And I apologize because I don't have a picture of it handy. I forgot to print it off. But I will insert a picture of that right here. And that is a free piece. Well, you can buy it as a booklet, or it was free, I think back in 2015. It is black work and cross stitch and metallics and beading. So that is way out of my comfort zone. I mean, the cross stitch black work part, not so much, but metallics and beading. So I placed an order with Sulky, and I'm going to be stitching that in Sulky. And I ordered some Mill Hill beads from 123 Stitch, and hopefully all of that will be here so I can have that as a March start for my birthday. So anyone wanting to join in, again, hashtag monochromatic March Sal. More the merrier. I am also going to be starting the Roxy Sal from Jean Farish. Now, you guys have probably all seen what I stitch. This, and I'm not knocking what Jean does because she's amazing, but this is not Jean Farish, right? This is not her style. She's samplers, reproductions, specialty stitches, delicate work, beautiful. Not me, but I've learned a ton from watching her. And the Roxy Sal that she's doing is a older sampler that she's kind of made more modern with a different color palette. And instead of doing the bigger chunks of motifs, she's going to be converting them into specialty stitches. Now, I don't know a lot of the specialty stitches, so I think this would be a great way for me to learn. And I believe that plan is for that to start in March, given all of her deliveries for her kits go well. So I'm going to be participating in that as well, and that's exciting. That will go March into April, though. So looking ahead, if you're interested, you still have time to buy the chart from her and kit it up yourself, which is what I'm doing. It's relatively inexpensive, and then she releases videos, tutorial videos throughout the whole thing. So again, I think that's going to be really fun and a good way to kind of grow and learn, and I'll have a pretty piece when it's all done. Last but not least, the only thing that may get in the way of all of these plans is that I am getting a craft room. So our house has a bonus room, which a lot of people use as like a upstairs movie theater, gaming area, playroom, whatever you want to call it. But I have two boys, and the idea of them playing that far upstairs away from our eyes for that long is scary for me right now, because there's a lot of trouble they can get into. So that was my craft room. However, we had my youngest 8 days after we moved into this house. So that room has turned into craft storage because I did a lot of scrapbooking. So I have a lot of embellishments, papers, stamping, inks. I used card making, all of that stuff. Plus all of our like memorabilia, like from kids, baby stuff, preschool drawings, whatever. And then gift wrap stuff is all in there, all of our gift bag, tissue paper, name it. And then any frames that we had when we moved in that we haven't hung up, like family photos and stuff that's been framed. So it's kind of in this catch-all room. And I'm going today to the Container Store, and I'm going to be buying an alpha system to go on the wall to get a craft room. So that means the next 2 months I'm going to be spending purging, sorting, organizing, and hopefully installing my new craft room, which at some point with real life is going to eat into my actual craft time, right? So I've got to spend time doing that. But that means hopefully, probably not next video, but hopefully by the end of March's video, I might be up there videotaping in a nice, well-lit stitchy spot. So that is very exciting. So those are the plans. I hope you guys stuck around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're getting a lot of stitchy time in yourself. I know the weather is, we've got snow coming today, 3 to 4 inches. I know other parts of the country are getting a lot more. So I hope everyone stays safe. I hope you stay healthy and are able to do whatever you need to do with all the craziness that is going around the world right now. And I hope this video finds you well. I could ask for some extra prayers. I'm having some health stuff going on, not related to the virus, but other stuff. that I'm still trying to sort out. So if you have any, positive thoughts, prayers, whatnot, that you could send my way over the next couple weeks, we could figure out what's going on. I'd really appreciate it. And I am just very thankful for the stitching community and this craft and getting to know more of all of you. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what your plans are for February. Hopefully you're making plans, and or let me know what you think of my whips and my plans. And I would love to have you come find me over on Instagram too. But say hi down below. Always love reading your comments, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. So bye.